Where is... There we go. Got my hand reference for today. And tomorrow I'll probably draw some burbs. Figure just stick with what works. Oh, I sound pretty good today? You mean like the audio's good or I sound good? Or my voice sounds good? Like not bad? I've had a very busy and exhausting last couple of days. Oh, me. Okay. Well, I'm glad I sound good. Burbs with mustaches. I do have a burb picture that I found yesterday that I thought was funny. That's weird. I don't know what is up with that, Haggis. I mean, I know what's up with that. It's Twitch. But, like, it does seem pretty messed up. Got a right hand today. Seems like nobody takes pictures of right hands. Well, I feel like I could probably get the cam zoomed in more, but I don't know, maybe it'll stay a little bit zoomed out today for now. We'll see. I've got the wrist warmers on today. It's quite cold. My fingers are actually really cold. But I just got underneath the blankies and I put my woolly socks on, so hopefully I will warm up a bit. Yeah, no, yeah, that's pretty much exactly it. I'm assuming everybody takes photos of their left hand with their right hand, and it's like, whoa. But there's like no, no freaking right hands, comparatively. I mean, if I Googled for right hands, maybe more right hands would come up. But if you just look for hand reference, it doesn't really show up. Hello, Legamoof, Slacker, Haggis, Hermit, Tim, Archangel, Brad. Yeah. That's not the same like a move. It's gotta be like realistic. It's gotta be a literal right hand. Otherwise, it's just not, it's not the same. But that is actually a really good thing to do when you're working on drawings, is to flip it to see if it looks weird. Because you can see errors if you flip it that you can't see without, basically because you're so used to looking at it. But if you flip it, your brain kind of perceives it differently and goes, whoa, that's weird, that's off. I need to get one of those tip sharpeners for these clutch pencil things I have. Well, I want to get more clutch pencils, but they're all expensive. The weirdest things are expensive here, I feel like. Sit with a mirror and draw in the mirror. I feel like that would be hard. I'd only be able to draw my hand in a couple positions. Oh. So somebody decided to do some changes to their freaking... I have been trying to get on the chair thing. Tomorrow I have penciled in some time for Tim and I to look at chairs and figure out which one would be the best to try and go for. Would have done it today, but I went grocery shopping and that's like an all-day ordeal for me. Apparently, I carried home about 50 pounds of groceries. Something like that. I hear Tim.
25 kilos.
Yes, 25 kilos. Which wouldn't that be more? Because it's more than 2. From kilos to pounds.
2.2 pounds per kilo.
Yeah, well, then I carried a lot of groceries. Warm, freshly popped popcorn. And marzipan stuff. And I got some plum and some grapes and some juice. Start with the clutch. They're not like ridiculous, but it's like I think this exact pencil is like $3.99, like £3.99, and it's like why? I guess it's one of those things like if you get like a set of, something like this, a lot of people will buy this and never use it, so they'll just sell it off. But something like this, I guess only artists buy these things. So less of them get sold again. But I have a small eBay shopping cart right now of things that I'm looking at for watercolor January. Hey, Calrog man. Bonk 2. I literally have not touched anything. Oh, it's because you walked. Tim walked into the room, I'm assuming. And the walking wiggled the walls? Maybe? That's literally. That one's on Tim. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pilot pencils. Very nice, very nice. But the thing with these ones, though, actually, I don't know. I've never tried actually changing these out. Because I really like this one, but the pencil is actually only this long. And you have to buy specific refills for it, which makes it more expensive. So as much as I really like the feeling of this one and the weight and the comfort of it, I'd rather get something more like this, which holds a regular 5.6 milliliter lead. It can hold a full-size lead, and you can buy cheap leads anywhere. But and again, these, I think the cheapest one on eBay that I've found so far is £3, and it's plastic. Most of them are £4. And it's like, I just want to have another one so that I can like swap between things, One of those things. But like, yeah, art supplies. Yes, chairs we're going to look at tomorrow though. We're going to look at some stuff online. I've never really had marzipan stuff until today. I had it once. I tried making it once. I don't think it came out this good. The mic bongs. Yeah, I don't know. Off duty. Oh, eBay. Sorry, Haggis. Oh, you hit the tray on the door. That's what happened. Walked into the wall. Yeah, exactly. So when he hits the wall, it hits the pipe, which is on the wall. So no longer do we hit the bed, but now we hit the wall. Pipe in the mount. Yeah. Butt-sized hole in the drywall. Fell through the wall. Yes, so I'm going to do another hand today and fill up this little corner. And then tomorrow I'll probably do some more burbs to fill up the burb page. Because I feel bad for not filling these pages. I have room for like 2 or 3 more burbs. Burps. Yes, Tim would know all about that. Well, not specifically from MS. But he's no stranger to falling. I have all these treats everywhere. I need to move these. Actually, I'm going to move these to this side because if I have them on that side, I will flick eraser poo into them. And that's not a good idea. But warm popcorn. Yeah, room for a couple of tits. This is true. Alright, I should actually get drawing before it's like ages and ages into the stream, and I'm like, oh poop, I need to finish drawing so I can play a game. Alright. Give myself a bit more space than that. Oh, Calrog, man. I feel like tit jokes never get old. Well, they do, but it's fine. It took me months before I actually saw a pair of great tits and took a photo. For the longest time, we only had one great tit ever in the yard, but yeah. Now we've got loads of great tits. I feel like in the last year, all the birds have figured out where our yard is, and they're like, so we've got a pair of doves with, I think, a baby, a child dove, and then at least like 7 gray tits, I feel like at this point. Loads of coal tits and blue tits too, but I think gray tits had the biggest population explosion since we started putting the bird food out, basically. There's always shitloads of starlings. Those are jerks, though. We very rarely see the magpie in our yard, but that's good, too, because they're also jerks. I have, like, the biggest popcorn kernel in my mouth. Sorry, that popcorn kernel was too big. Not eating it. Well, it's not even a kernel. It's a kernel's skin, I guess. What other birds do we have lots of? Well, we got shitloads of goldfinches this year, too. Hashtag a wobblethon. I'm glad that I sound more positive tonight. Yeah, I generally don't wear over ears because of my glasses. When I had, or when I wore, I should say, my contact lenses, I could wear over ears, no problem, but yeah, over ears suck for people with glasses. There was a point this year, actually, too, where I was considering getting yellow tinted glasses to try and help with some eye strain headaches I was having. I never ended up getting to the optometrist, though, so it never happened. Maybe next year. Next year I'll go to the optometrist and the dentist, maybe. At least for me, headphones and stuff basically just like munch the... No, I wouldn't buy Gunners because they're fucking expensive. I can't afford Gunners. I would just get yellow tinted glasses and see if that helps. Basically, it's the like blue light spectrum that can really cause like way more eye strain. But yeah, you can get really cheap yellow glasses. Oh yeah, for sure. But at least the streamers probably get them for free. Same as their chairs and their headphones and whatnot. Or at least a lot of streamers do. Welding mask. Yeah, just don't weld without a welding mask, please. But yeah, I went grocery shopping today, had a bath today, did some... Yeah, pretty much, Brad. Yeah, don't do that, Tim. We don't need you inflicting more things on yourself than you already have. Yeah, I need to fix the frickin' wheelchair so we can leave the house together. That'd be cool. Last time we left the house together was in January. Been nearly a year. And that was to go to the grocery store. Whoa! I caught my eraser like this in my elbow. Otherwise it would have went on the floor and I would have had to bend down and it would have sucked. I feel like I've squished this all too much. Vertically? Vertically, not horizontally. Maybe I'll wiggle it out a little bit more here. Ray Charles welded with his feet. Yeesh. Yeah, don't do it in the kitchen either. Yeah, Kung Fu Master. That's a movie we haven't watched. You haven't watched any Kung Fu movies. Or action martial arts movies, I should say. I feel like those went out of style. Like 20 years ago. They used to be a thing all the time. Maybe they went out of style with the last, like, western-ish stuff we did. Hasn't been any big western stuff either in a while. Anime and a foo. What's the one with Jackie Chan and the guy with the weird nose? Well, there's two, I guess. Shanghai something. I know because there was a Shanghai something restaurant where I lived, and we always thought of that movie and called it the wrong. It was a Shanghai Noon. What was the second one then? Yeah, Shanghai something and Shanghai something. Enter the Dragon. Nights, Shanghai Nights, right. Which one is it? Rumble in the Bronx. I know Rumble in the Bronx actually has a bunch of footage filmed in Vancouver, which is like really weird when you're watching a movie that's supposed to be in like New York, and then you're like, but that's like Granville Bridge. The fuck? Speaking of Jackie Chan. There was also, I feel like the not the Sherlock TV series, but the Sherlock movies with like Robert Downey Jr. have a lot of like action fight scenes in them. Probably one of the more actiony, fight scene-y kind of movies I've seen in a while. Generally, I just tune out in a lot of action scenes, though. It's like sex scenes. Like, all right, tell me when it's over. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna go get some popcorn. I do that mostly in books, though. Like fight scenes and stuff all the time. I'm like, all right, is this actually necessary? And I skim and I'm like, nope, I can just skip it. Wow, Legamoof. That sounds about right. Bat-chan. Yeah, weren't you referencing that? What was it? Oh, it was a house that we saw with that had the guy from Due South? Or something? Vancouver is the city that doesn't play itself. It's every other city and multiverse, but not Vancouver, like ever. Which is a shame, because Vancouver's pretty. It's expensive as fuck to live there, but it's pretty. I feel like this isn't far over enough. Still, this is probably better. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's probably house. I feel like most of the people that we see in house that we recognize, it's like, oh, they're in every TV procedural show, or like every, they're a one-off character that's in everything, which is kind of annoying sometimes because it's like, where do I know that? Oh, from everywhere. Well, it's not the rubber poo so much as me folding the page back, but yeah. There is actually a dustless eraser, which I'm assuming means eraser poo free, but obviously it's more expensive. But I have seen such a thing. It exists. This person has very very short cut fingernails. Not quite. I usually cut my nails really short. Is it Tim asking for a friend? The hand? It's not Tim. Yeah, I usually let my nails grow long and then cut them really short. Lots of good games coming out this week. Not sure if I'm going to pick any of them up, but lots of good games. Skyrim on the Switch, Rocket League on the Switch. What was the other one I was thinking of? Oh, Snipperclips DLC. I haven't picked it up yet, but I do plan on playing that with Tim at some point. For sure. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon came out, I think, this week. One day I'll pick that up. I want to get my frickin' 3DS capture working again, but I don't know if I can. We shall see. Owen Wilson. That was that guy's name. Just popped into my head. Anytime I think of him, I want to watch freaking Zoolander. I don't know if love is a good word for that movie, but I do. I've enjoyed watching it repeatedly. That's for sure. I love David Bowie in that movie. I love David Bowie in general. Labyrinth. That's a good movie. Wowen Wilson? Wowin Wow Wilson. Wow. Oh yeah, well, I mean, that's why I think of Zoolander, because everybody in that movie is annoying, generally, and it works out well. At least for me. I don't really, I think those are the two movies / series I can think of with him in it, is the Shanghai movies and Zoolander. I've never seen the second one. Don't know if it was any good or not. I enjoyed the Hunger Games movies. I feel like I enjoy them more the earlier in the series they are. Kind of like Harry Potter, where it's like I love the earlier ones, but like the 7th and 8th, I'm just like, I don't need to watch those. Those are too stressful. You know how it is with longer series. Did you say hello? No, I said hello, but that's close enough. Yeah. Good thing she didn't go that way. She would have gone straight on to that castle. I've seen that movie way too many times. That one, Small Soldiers, Secret of Nim, Princess Bride. I'm trying to think of like my top 5 most watched movies. Probably Pebble and the Penguin would be in there. I don't know why. Welcome back, AA. Or Archangel. I don't have to shorten it because I'm not typing. Yeah. Let's see, I feel like this needs to be farther over. Fucking up this whole thing. If I just move over. Holy Grail. I have seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail a couple times. That's for sure. But I'm thinking like back to childhood. So movies I've seen like a bajillion times, not just like 10. I feel like I've seen the Gundam Wing movie and Revolutionary Girl Utena. I've seen those movies a couple times. Apparently I saw Totoro, My Neighbor Totoro, before I knew what anime was, when I was like 5 years old. They had it in like the... There was like a gas station near our house, and the gas station had like one of those like super, like just low budget, a bunch of shelves with some VHSs on it. It had one of those like little mini rental places, and they had My Neighbor Totoro. Apparently Secret of Nim, when I was 1 year old, I used to watch that movie basically on repeat. I'm like, I wasn't even a human being yet, and you let me watch Secret of Nim? Like, that's not... I don't even really think of that as a children's movie. 5 Goes West and An American Tail. Classic. Classic. Cat bus scares me. Yeah. I feel like watching My Neighbor Totoro as a child and as an adult are two completely different things. Like, it's not actually, I think, a very child-friendly movie, but as a child, it's not as disturbing, I think. As an adult, it's a lot more disturbing. And there's some really weird, like, creepypasta about that movie. I think there's like basically a theory that the children are dead the entire movie. It's weird. Well, most of it, I should say. Oh, this means the thumb is... I'm trying to like so meticulously draw this correctly, and then like everything I do is like, nope, that's super fucked. That's nowhere near where it needs to be. Yeah. Well, and even I guess with a VCR though, there was this VHS we had just with a bunch of like cartoons, like Christmas cartoons, taped off of TV. And it was just a big mashup. Just watch that tape over and over and over again. Okay, so that goes there. Then this needs to end like here. Approximately. We'll see. But then even that means this is fucked up too. Just like this, maybe? Whatever. Yeah, I was a child in the age of the Disney bubble VHSs. And as a child, I was only allowed to watch Disney movies and Christian cartoons, basically. So I watched Davy and Goliath and... What is that fucking super weird one? I think I have it saved in my watch later list. Let me see if I can Google it, because it's pretty... I feel like it's easier to Google nowadays. I posted it in Discord at some point. Oh, it's... I think it's like... something like that. Whomania. We never owned it, but I watched it at a kid's house or something, I feel like. Whomania is... I don't remember... I remember weird shit from it. I don't remember all of it. Aladdin? Yeah. I don't think I've even seen Rocky, Haggis. Oh no. I'm sorry, Brad. No, like H-O-O and then M-A-N-I-A. Whomania. Look it up. It's like a very bizarre Christian children's movie with a lot of claymation. Anybody remember the, like, Christmas special with the California raisins? It's like stop motion claymation. I feel like I'm bringing up weird shit. Tam, are you like getting into my brain? I'm bringing up like weird old shit that people have never heard of. Yeah, I linked that before. It's weird. The stuff I remember is weird anyways. But yeah, I was allowed to watch that, but I wasn't allowed to watch Sleeping Beauty. Disney cartoon. Yeah, yeah. I might even know the one you're thinking. Well, I know one of them. The one with Ferdinand, the bull, and the like white whale and stuff like that. Or not the white whale. There's a singing whale and Ferdinand, and there's like musical shit. I had that one. That one's pretty weird. I feel like I've fucked up this hand severely, but maybe it'll be savable. I feel like this part's just too long. Maybe. I don't know. That's the problem. I keep switching to a freaking 2B. Well, it's not the problem that I'm having with the proportion. It's just the problem I'm having with the pencil. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that one at least. I think it was the only like mixed one we had. We had pretty much every single Disney movie. I know, Haggis. We had pretty much everything except for like we didn't have like the Three Amigos. We didn't have the Nazi shit. We didn't have the Sleeping Beauty. Because apparently watching that one we would go to hell. Not the other ones. The other ones were fine. Just that one had magic. Dang 2B pencil. This needs to be not here. But it. I do need to like shorten this part, basically. And then lengthen this part. No, but I don't want to. I don't have space for it anymore. Whatever. I'll just wing it. Sort of, but not really. I haven't eaten any of my snacks. What a waste. What a waste. But yeah, I always liked the what's that guy's name? The not Disney ones. The God, Goldblum. No, that's not what I'm looking about. Looking about? Oh my god, my words today. What am I thinking of? Not Goldblum. Amblimation? Don Bluth. That's the word I'm looking for. Word? Name. Don Bluth. Not Jeff Goldblum. What the... But yeah, the Don Bluth animated movies. Secret of Nim, American Tail, Anastasia, Land Before Time. Never watched All Dogs Go to Heaven. That wasn't in our collection. I don't know why. But I remember that was one that everyone I knew loved, and I was like, I've never seen it. Rockadoodle, Thumbelina. There's a lot of really bad ones in here that, like, never... We had Rockadoodle on a VHS that we taped off TV and we taped over it. Pebble and the Penguin! Anastasia is probably my favorite on that list. Still, I would say. Titan AE, that's a good one too. Alright, stop Googling shit and get back to drawing. Lady. Jeff Goldblum. I did have like a tiny little girl crush on him for a little while in whenever I was allowed to see Jurassic Park was. I don't know about that one, Haggis. I was looking at the animated stuff. There we go. Had some grapes. Num num num. Titan AE is one of those, like, everybody is in it, but it made, like, no money or something. Don Bluth is the person I'm talking about. Yeah, I just don't know if he's Herbie Goes Bananas. I don't know if that was anything he did. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Did stuff with Spielberg. They had that like Disney, anti-Disney, Disney whatever, something or other. I watched a fascinating documentary about like basically just some of the backstory behind some of the choices during like the renaissance of Disney movies, basically. Just like who did what and who was the driving force behind certain decisions and stuff like that. Who did the music and who did this and even as a kid though, I always got kind of super bummed about Disney movies because he always kills off the mom for like every movie. Almost every movie the mom is dead. Hello, Athena. Oh, it's too... It's probably good like that. Talking about Disney movies and stuff, basically. Yeah, I was wondering when someone was going to say something like that, Athena. I literally just added that. I left it until, like, the last second. Wasn't very sneaky about it, but kind of sneaky about it. I said I had a hand that would fit here. And I have some popcorn. Popcorn. Dragon's Lair. Yeah, I only saw that one like once. Or no, is that the game? Yeah, it's the game. What's the one that you saw? Yeah, I guess I could. My fingers look way different. I'm trying to like... And even then, like, my thumb is way longer. I can't do that hand, basically. It's physically impossible for me. It's not universal. That's true. Here they use two. Yeah, Game Sword in the Stone. But there was that other one he did. I think it was like Black Cauldron, maybe? I thought I was safer doing the one finger version. It's not... I feel like it's less offensive. It's like not really offensive anymore. Maybe not. I don't know. Just having a mini popcorn break. Last three fingers instead. Oh, like this instead? Instead of like this? What does it say? Three fingers, ring finger. Oh, like this. Yeah, I get you. Well, it's like when I count like 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I can't. Well, I can kind of now, but it, like as a child, it was difficult to do this. Like this still hurts. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, see you later, real TKH. This popcorn's yummy. That's interesting. I haven't heard of that one before, Archangel. I've heard of like the 2 fingers. That's what they do in the UK, right? Alright. Back to drawing. But yeah, I feel like the middle finger, at least in North America, is just a lot more... It's more of an expression than offensive most of the time, I feel like. But that's why I picked it, because I didn't think anyone, in the stream at least, would take offense to me drawing it. Well, I didn't say you would be fucked up in all sorts of ways. I'm just saying that it can be a signifier of something else, basically. I got a freaking popcorn kernel stuck in my tooth. Yeah, it is interesting to me, like different stuff like that. Seeing what is offensive and where it comes from. I think Tim is cleaning the oven and he shouldn't be. I put it away. You didn't have to see it. I already took care of it. But if I'd left that, it would have bugged the shit out of me. Like, it would have been really annoying. I can't really describe better without grossing out other people. So, Tim, are you cleaning the oven? Uh-huh. You guys wouldn't believe, you people, you all would not believe how much Tim has been bad today. Tim has cleaned all sorts of things today. And he's being naughty. I got away with helping him out a lot yesterday, but today I went grocery shopping and he cleaned while I was gone. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Haggis, you rethinking that one? Yeah, I know. I know. Tim's not very good at resting. We don't even have newspaper. There's like a little flyer, I guess I could swat him with. Get the spray bottle out, spritz him like a cat. Cat goes, me. Stop doing it. Hide his twiglets. I actually saw a really funny, I don't know if anyone follows Millicent Oak, but I saw Millicent Oak retweeted a gif of a cat that was pretty hilarious. I was gonna steal it and post it in Discord. Now I'm thinking about twiglets. I have snacks. I don't need twiglets. Have some plum. Hopefully my chewing noises isn't grossing anyone out. I actually feel like my fingernails have been doing pretty good lately. I've got 2 little white dings on my fingernails. Right there and right there. Well, you can't see them. There's a tiny little white ding there and there's a tiny little white ding there. It used to be that my nails had all of it, like, just were covered in those. Just drawing these nails and thinking about it. Gifting, weaponize Twitch subs. Gifting people subs to streamers they don't like to troll them. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I remember when I worked at Subway, I actually basically gave somebody a talking to about suicide attempts. Sorry, trigger warning. A little bit too late there. But because of her fingernails, she had, I think it's called niece lines. She had like this dark line, what I'm basically doing with freaking pencil. She had this dark line that went across all of her fingernails, like close to the nail bed on like all across. And I was like, is there anything you want to talk about? Basically told her that I could tell because of her fingernails that she'd tried overdosing on something. She didn't know that you could tell from that. The little white dings, I think it's more to do with like vitamin deficiencies or something. I'm not entirely sure. It might be calcium related. I don't know. All I know is that if you don't have them, it means it's a better thing than if you do have them. But if you do have them, you're not like dying or anything. You're fine. It's not. It's one of those things where it's not like, oh my god, panic. But it's a better thing if you don't have them. It means you're getting what you need to in your body, I think. Yeah, calcium. But I always used to have those all over my nails. All over my nails. There's also, like, if you get ridges, I just think it's really interesting stuff like that, you know, where you can... okay, are called leukonikenia, yeah. Well, yeah, no, mine's not from injuries. But you can also have ridges vertically and ridges horizontally. Yeah, then again, you don't always want to trust Google on that shit. Because there's always the edge case stuff too, where it's like, oh, it's this, except for when this happens, and then it's actually this other thing. But yeah, I try not to just Google things as much as it seems like with my stuff. It's like, oh, I'll just Google and find out more, and then I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have Googled. That was a terrible idea. Now I feel like I'm gonna die, and I'm not. But yeah, same thing, like having ridges, like deep ridges horizontally or vertically means something else, and yeah, exactly. But I think stuff like that is interesting. You know, like when you can tell something about a person. It's kind of like, I don't know. I mentioned it earlier in the stream. Kind of like Sherlock. Or you can be like, oh, because, your fingernails are this way, it means this, or like because of little things like that, where you can just tell something about like somebody's diet or something that might be wrong. That kind of stuff interests me. This is the same kind of stuff you get in like Bones or House or CSI, where it's like, yeah, it's a procedural, so a lot of it's just kind of fluffed for TV. But some of it is like, oh, actually, like people from this residence only have this kind of bone, and it's, from this country because of this thing, and, like, oh, that's interesting. Or like, oh, people that have this kind of, this kind of job, they get these kinds of injuries. Stuff like that. Uh-oh, Legamoof. Uh-oh. I used to bite my nails when I was a kid, and I taught myself out of it. I don't know how, because I don't have, I think, the greatest, or at least especially when I was young, I didn't think I had the greatest self-control. But instead of chewing my nails, I bite the inside of my cheeks. So I'll actually like just chew the flesh off of the inside of my cheeks. Sometimes. I don't do it all the time. I actually do it a lot less recently. Without trying. But, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, oh, like people that live in this area have this problem because of the water, because of this. And it's like, what? How? That's so cool. I think that stuff's cool. Not cool that like, oh, they have that, but cool that that's, that you can tell because of something like scientific, basically. That there's a cause and effect. And it's, something measurable and something known. Hey, White Bear. But yeah, that's part of what I like about those kinds of shows, is just learning stuff like that. It's like, oh, like even just bug stuff, which Polly's not here. But, even bug stuff where it's like, oh, these bugs only live in this kind of area because they like eating this. So if these bugs are there, it's because of this. I was like, what? How do I know? That's cool. Enjoy your coffee bread. Tootsie Rolls. I haven't had one of those in ages. My mom used to really like Tootsie Rolls. feel like with the way my teeth are right now, it probably would not be advisable. I'd probably lose a chunk of tooth. That stuff does not mess around. Oh, nice, Legamoof. Any specific reason, or just like, I don't want to bite my nails anymore? My mom bites her nails pretty harshly. Wow, 5-pound bag. That's a few Tootsie Rolls, yeah. I guess it's post-Halloween, so that kind of stuff's pretty common. I'm super bummed because there was one store around here that used to sell Sour Patch Kids, and now they don't. And I don't think I can get Sour Patch Kids anymore unless I buy them really expensively off Amazon. If they even have them anymore. I think they don't have them anymore in the pantry. I found like a semi-replacement type thing, but it's not the same. Yeah, personal challenge. I feel like that's a really healthy goal to try and do, you know, something to try and improve your life in a way, you know? I don't know. I'm not trying to like put words in your mouth, but trying to do something like that is admirable. That's what I'm trying to say. Trying to kick that habit and make that change. I know it can be really difficult. I've been told I have an addictive personality, but I don't know. Like, that's another one of those things where it's like, is that a thing? Is it really a thing? I don't know if it's a thing. But yeah. It's part of why I just straight up quit drinking instead of going any halfway about it when I left Vancouver. Well, a little bit later than that, but it was just like, you know, I'm gonna stop drinking because it's not doing good things for me. So I'm gonna stop because I'm not using it in a healthy way psychologically. Those kind of personal choices, you know, where it's not, doesn't specifically have to be health related, but it's personally driven. Welcome back, Tim. Tick of a personality. Alright, I hope that goes well for you, White Bear. But definitely, you know, keep aware of what's going on and tell your doctor, you know, if something's not working out for you. It's one of those things, like, I can't say stuff about other people's health. You really have to depend on your health professional kind of stuff for that thing. But there were words in there that made sense in a sentence, but not in that direction. Fuck. But yeah, yeah. I've never smoked a cigarette or like cigar or anything. I've smoked weed, but I don't do that. I haven't done that. I only did it for a very brief period of time as a escape kind of mechanism. So I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I haven't drank in 3 or 4 years now, probably. There's a lot of those kind of vices and stuff. And sometimes I wish I had one of those vices, like so that I had a coping mechanism. But I don't really have any coping mechanisms other than video games, and that would be why I get deep into video games sometimes. As a coping mechanism. Not to get like too heavy, because I feel like I'm going some weird places with these conversations. And I'm sorry. It's probably not a great idea for myself either. And I don't want to be triggering or distressing anybody in chat. This thumbnail should be bigger, but I don't care enough to fix it. It's fine. I was told that I was asthmatic my whole life, so that's why I never tried smoking. But I don't think I actually have asthma. Another one of those things I need to still kind of figure out health-wise. Adam Ant is in my head singing Goody Two-Shoes. I don't know that song, but maybe Brad does. Yeah, and that's the thing, like even chocolate, broccoli, tobacco, coffee, tea. Like I've never drank coffee in my life except for the one time when I was dying, which there's a quote about that. I was having a severe asthma attack in grade 4. And we had a teacher's aide in my class because we had someone with mental disabilities. I'll finish the story and change the subject, I guess. But yeah, so we had a teacher's aide, and she walked me from the portable, which is on the other fucking side of the whole schoolyard, all the way up to like one of the entrances to the school, all the way into the school, and all the way to the staff room. And the entire time, basically imagine trying to breathe through like a coffee stir stick. If you imagine the only oxygen you could get is breathing through a coffee stir stick. That's kind of what it felt like, except for a little bit more like I'm dying. But I was kind of used to it because I was in grade 4. I'd been asthmatic for a very long time. But yeah, so she's like, keep breathing, just be calm. It's okay. Just breathe, like walking me this entire across the entire, schoolyard. Plops me into the staff room because I guess she didn't want me to. I think there was another kid in the first aid room. So she goes into the first aid room and looks for my medication because I had to have one in my bag. I guess I didn't have that one, or she didn't look for it. And then there's supposed to be one in the first aid room. But apparently they never relabeled it. They hadn't relabeled or checked if it was out of date or anything in 3 years. So she couldn't find it. It was actually there. They found it later, but she couldn't find it. So she just comes back into the staff room. And at that point, pretty much every teacher in the entire school was in the staff room being like, oh, it's okay. Breathe, just breathe, slowly, just don't panic. It's okay. And the principal comes in. And I'm just I've had an asthma attack before. I don't think I was panicking. But, I was really close to not being able to breathe. And basically they just got a pot of coffee, brought it over, put it in my lap, and then got me to sip coffee basically to mostly just the steam, but also the caffeine to try and help make it so I could breathe. Because basically they couldn't, even if they put me in a car and drove straight to the hospital, if I stopped breathing, there would have been a severe issue just because it would have taken half an hour to get to the hospital. So they were like, just breathe, just breathe the coffee. And I'm like, yeah, I know, guys. And I don't even know what it was caused by. I think it might have been caused by pollutants or something. We had an issue for a brief period of time with there's a factory near where I grew up, and there was a lot of pollutants in the air for a while. But I actually don't know because I was sitting in class. Not doing anything, and I just suddenly couldn't breathe. So that was the one time I've drank coffee. So I don't drink coffee. And even tea, lately I only drink one a day, and that's it. So I don't have a caffeine addiction. Yeah, no, not so much on the addictions and coping mechanisms. Sorry, I'm catching up on chat. Capitalist Keurig. Yeah, I have a Keurig too. I've never drank coffee, but yeah. I've been on antidepressants twice, and I don't think they worked for me. But I think it was more of a, like, there might be an antidepressant that works for me, but I think the doctors that prescribed them to me didn't really do the research they needed to into my health before they just gave me a prescription. Never smoke weed because I was already paranoid enough. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. Cigars, yeah. And what about that horse dick, huh? Oh yeah, you do know that song, the Adamant song. Tim Sugar Beet Harvesters. Tim was telling me about Tim Sugar Beet Harvesters today. Couldn't make me run bleachers. Actually, there was actually a... I don't remember, but it might have been the same woman, actually, that did that. That's teacher's aide. When I was in grade, like, 6 or 7? Maybe grade 5. It wasn't that long later. It was only a year or two. Basically, we had the track and field day. So you had to do like 3 or 4 activities, and you could, like, choose. So, you know, if you had, like, buff arms, you could do, like, shot put, you know, or if you jumped good, you could do long jump, or, you know, if you ran good, you could do whatever, right? So I picked my things, and I didn't pick, like, a long running category. I did, like, 100 meter, I did long jump, I did triple jump, you know, like, I did all that stuff, but I was like, I'm not doing a long running one. I'm not doing, like, I can't remember, was it 500 meter? It would have been longer than that. But anyways, I was like, I can't because of, like, my asthma. And my teacher or teacher's aide was straight up like, no, you have to do it. And I didn't die or basically die that time, but it was definitely not a good thing. It was like, no, I literally can't breathe. Like, you can't just say, oh, no, you have to do it. And my lungs, like, they're not going to just be like, oh, okay, sure. My teacher says I have to do it. So clearly. Yeah. But then again, like I said, I still don't even think I have asthma, apparently. At least talking to Tim about it. They panic more than us. Yeah. Cupboard full of tea, it's true. Crusty. But yeah, no, I'm a tea drinker all the way. I love me some Timmies. This makes me sound Canadian. But some Tim Ho's, if I get me some steep tea double. It's basically just sugar and cream. It does taste good though. That I do enjoy, but it's the same thing. It's not like an addiction. I can't fucking afford that shit. But drinking it is like, yummy. I haven't had one in 2 years. Steep tea double. Yum, 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 yum. I used to be, I wouldn't say, well, yeah, probably, well, okay. It would be on an addictive level. I used to be dependent on Coca-Cola for absolute sure. Years and years and years. I quit it a couple times, but I quit it again in 2015, and I haven't had any since 2015. The only I've had, like, since 2015, I've had a little bit of Schlur, which Haggis might know. Schlur sounds like an alcohol to me. I've had a little bit of Schlur. I've had a little bit of ginger ale for, like, mostly nausea. And I've had a little bit of just carbonated water. But other than that, I haven't had any, like, sugary pop or soda or whatever. Cola. Yeah, Schlur. Yeah, Schlur. You know Schlur. I actually bought some Schlur today because it was on offer. 89p a bottle. I was like, oh yeah, haven't had Schlur in literally months. Let's have some Schlur. It's just a funny word to say. But yeah, I was definitely dependent on Coca-Cola for a very long time. Like pretty much my entire life. I feel like I was basically like bottle fed Coca-Cola since a very young age. So I definitely had a caffeine addiction before, like when I was younger and also like when I lived in Vancouver. I mean, when I lived in Vancouver, I drank. That's why I stopped drinking. So, I'm not saying like, oh, I've never had any vices. I'm just fucking, I'm cool and I don't have vices ever. I'm just saying I don't have any, well, I don't have many now that I can depend on or, you know, cope with or whatever, abuse, whatever you want to call it. Schlur is for the ladies. Well, like I said, I don't drink pop or anything, and I don't drink alcohol, so I got some Schlur because it was on offer. It's basically like a carbonated fake wine kind of thing. It's grape flavored. It's carbonated. It's not like the same kind of syrupy pop kind of stuff. That's a question. What do you all call it? What do you call carbonated like soda beverages? Do you call it pop? Do you call it soda? Do you call it cola? Do you call it Coke? Because I know there's some places that just call all soda Coke, and I call all soda pop. Because I'm from the West Coast. And I know a lot of people think it's weird. I think it's weird when people call it soda. So there. Kool-Aid is also good. Oh, whenever it snowed when I was a kid, my mom would get like a packet of Kool-Aid and just like a bowl of fresh snow, packet of Kool-Aid. It's basically like kind of like a home slushie almost. Juice. West coast of Scotland is called ginger. That's so weird. Soda, yeah. Pop, yeah. I've known pretty much, well, not everybody, but I've known people that call them a lot of things. I'm definitely from the pop area of the world, or one of the areas of the world that calls it pop. That's another one too, is like, if I said Smarties, what would you think I was talking about? I think I know the answer for most of chat. Yeah, it's not just West Coast, but I know in Canada it's West Coast. In the US it's a little bit more kind of spread out. And I think it's more like South that calls it all Coke, maybe, possibly. Smarties. Well, that's the thing, like haggis. If you think of Smarties... Yeah, it sounds like how you say slur. I know, Schlur. It sounds like it's alcoholic, but it's not. It's just basically bubbly water. Sugar-coated chocolates. Yeah, that's what I would say at Lagamoof. That's Smarties to me. But I think in the US, they call Smarties Rockets. No, they call Rockets Smarties. If that makes sense. We call them Rockets, the little like sugar disc candy in the little clear white plastic package with red lettering on it. That's Rockets to us. But in the US, those are sold as Smarties, and they don't have Smarties. Smarties are basically like weird tasting M&Ms. They're completely different, but... V-Heart. I don't even know who a V-Heart is. First blue color suite we got in the UK. But yeah, like just stuff like that. I don't know. I guess I'm just talking about stuff I think is funny and interesting today. But stuff like that where it's like a regional, like, you know, like Tim was saying about Marathon. For some reason, I guess Snickers bars were called Marathon here. I don't know why. Don't know why they stopped either, because they changed it to Snickers eventually. That kind of stuff interests me though. Dialects and cultural differences. Oh, Vi rhymes with pie. Mathematician, musician. Huh. That sounds up Tim's alley. Blue chemical made them hyperactive. Uh-huh. I guess. Yeah, that must be like a different age group, because I don't remember that being a big deal. I mean, I think it was before my time as a child. I remember when I was a kid, you could go to the store and get a bunch of candy, and each of the candies would be like 5 cents. But they called it penny candy, and it was not for pennies. And you used to be able to get a Coke. Every summer they would have that like offer where you could basically win like a free Coke on like your every second or third bottle. And then when I got older, you basically just got like 25 cents off or something stupid. And it was like, oh, I want a free Coke. Toques are a really funny one too. I cannot call toques beanies. It does not compute in my brain. To me, a beanie is a little like rainbow colored hat with a propeller on it. Sprinters. That's a pretty good name, yeah. E numbers got marked and cut and sugar reduced and salt reduced. Huh. Because of the chemicals. Yeah. I'm not doing a very good job of drawing fast. I'm doing a very good job of talking a lot. I need to draw more. Yes, Plum. I'm eating my grapes first. I'm eating my grapes and my popcorn. Toboggans. Toboggans are sleds, not hats. Toboggans are like a 4-seater wooden sled. My dad rode a toboggan into a tree and dislocated his shoulder. You can't ride a hat. Just saying. That's really funny though. Huh, Lilos? Beanies are hats? Beanies are not hats. Like, if anything, beanies make me think of Beanie Babies, not hats. But like this happens all the time with me. Like when I look for stuff on eBay. I know, I'm sorry, not Tim. I'm sorry, Haggis. But when I look for stuff on eBay, sometimes I have to just be like, Tim, what do you call this? Because instead of being like runners, it'll be, you know, something else. Or instead of being like a shirt, it'll be something else. Or the whole like tights, leggings fiasco of confusion. Like, I was trying to look for sweatpants one time, and I was just like, what do you guys call sweatpants? Because there were some things called sweatpants, but there was also, like, other things called weird things, and I was like, I'm confused, Tim, help. Translate. No, I know, Brad, I'm just... You can see how, to me, it's like, what? That's ridiculous. But I know you're not. I'm not actually saying, like, it's your fault. I'm just saying, like, that's bizarre to me, because to me, it's literally it's a very specific thing. It's a 4-seater wooden sled with a curl on the front. And if you actually try to seat 4 people on it, it doesn't usually work, and it usually ends in tragedy. Toques were a French 16th century thing. A beanie is a beanie. All right. Trackies. All right. But yeah, basically, I look up stuff under, like, what I would think is, like, duh, that's what they're called. And then it's like, no, that's not what they're called. Chef's hat is a toque? No! Tim, why are you spreading these lies? But I was like, Tim was showing me there was like an art thing, package, and it was like, you get a rubber with it, and I'm like, that's not... I'm not saying you're wrong, Tim, I'm just saying you're wrong. In that I've never heard that before, and toques will always be what I would say toques are. Regional stuff, man. You can be right all you want, but I'm not going to call them that. Yeah, I'm Canadian, which means I get to butcher 2 languages, at least. Bare minimum, 2 languages get butchered. And not, like, because it's my fault, just because, like, you know, culturally. Yeah, a dustless eraser. I don't even... Let me look it up on my phone. I thought they worked because they made eraser poo. Yeah, I don't... Let me look it up and show you, and we can see what it looks like together. Hey, I have eBay open. Sorry, Haggis. Let's look at dustless eraser. Or what is it called? It was called, maybe it's not called dustless, but that's basically what it is. Eraser. I don't know. But there's totally a thing, and it, like, legit exists, and I was like, what? Maybe I have it on my watch list. Oh, wait. No, that's a soft eraser. Art eraser, soft art eraser. There is, for actual reals, a thing, and I'm not lying. Let me filter by lowest price. You just burn a hole. Yeah, no smudge. Yeah, that's not what I mean. Crafts, maybe. Art supplies. If I just say eraser. I know for sure this is a thing. I will find it. Right. What do we got? Give it away now. Come on. Now you're just being... Oh, here we go. I don't know how it works, but there is a thing. This is literally a thing. Oh, I don't know if I can see. It says dust-free eraser. Here we go. Dust-free. Clean and soft erasing. It's an art eraser. I don't know how it works, but apparently it's dust-free. Yeah. Eraserless eraser. It's a lump of rubber. Well, you already call them rubbers here. Dust will roll together. So wait, so it literally has eraser poo that's just bigger eraser poo. Is that what you're saying? It just says dust will roll together in the description. So it's a bigger eraser poo instead of less eraser poo. I don't know. I did say that, didn't I? I said I didn't know how they worked, but that there was like a thing that said it didn't make as much of a mess, basically. Apparently it means it makes a mess, but just like more of it. I'll have some plum. Yeah, just a giant eraser poo. Smelly erasers. It's like those smelly pens people always used to shove up their nose. They still haven't changed, by the way. They still exist and they still smell exactly the same. Yeah, strawberry rubbers says completely different thing. I mean, as a kid, that wasn't really a barrier. Shoving things up your nose. I absolutely had a kid in my class that ate glue. And apparently spiders. But I don't remember if that was just, you know, trying to sound cool or something or what. Gotta have my pills, but I want to finish this fingernail bit I was doing. Fruit-flavored condoms. Yeah. I mean, but you weren't the one putting that in your mouth, so... Yes, I know, Tim. Confiscated a lot. Yeah, we got Pogs and Tamagotchis confiscated? Confiscated when I was a kid. Yes, exactly, Brad. I was gonna say I don't want to assume anything, but... if you're not the one putting it in your mouth, then I don't know if you have, Well, not that... I'm reasonably sure those don't do anything bad to dude parts. Maybe if you got really sensitive dude parts, anything would hurt it. I remember at like the walk-in clinic, they always had like weird condoms. Just like a bucket of them basically beside the door. You can take as many as you want. And they had lube too. Like just weird condoms and lube, basically. Make dude parts smell like bananas and strawberries. Trying to think. I don't know if I've ever used a flavored one. I know glow-in-the-dark ones are a thing too. When I was in Korea, when I was flying out of Korea, I should say, there was like a vending machine in my room, and it had glow-in-the-dark condoms, along with like fuzzy handcuffs and socks, dried squid, and beer, stuff like that. You can get all kinds of stuff in there. Rubber Johnnies. Fake candy flavor, yeah. I love that, like, there's some candy that basically just tastes like a color. Doesn't even taste like the candy. Well, it's the same as, there's a lot of bathroom supplies that are like that too. Like body wash and stuff. And it's like, oh, it just smells pink. It's like, it doesn't smell like pomegranate or raspberry. It just smells pink. It's like when I was a kid, I used to like, basically blue flavored stuff. A lot of the blue flavored like candy and like sports drinks and stuff were my favorites. Or blue popsicles. They were the best. And people would say like, well, what color is blue? And I'm like, or like, what flavor is blue? And I'm like, I don't know. Blue. It was usually like blue raspberry, but... I never really liked green flavored stuff. It was always like sour apple or like pear. That was not my thing when I was a kid. Way more into blue. I feel like blue and white popsicles were always the best. Or I should say like Mr. Freeze popsicles. I was never into creamsicles when I was a kid either. Just did not like them. Yeah, color instead of flavor. Yeah, Kool-Aid was definitely another one where it's like just colors instead of flavors. Used to save the little like codes off the back of the Kool-Aid to try and like save up and get something out of a catalog, and you'd never have enough points. It's like my generation's version of like getting something out of the back of a comic book. Green when it was lime. Oh yeah, sour apple. Ugh. When I used to go to Dairy Queen as a kid and get like the slushy things they had, they used to have one that was like lemon lime. And now I've tried it relatively recently, like 3 or 4 years ago, and it's like it does not taste any good. He's no good. Like, it doesn't taste like what I remembered it like, and it doesn't taste good. Neither of those things are true. But I liked the like lemon lime one at the time. We're almost there. Frozen Cokes. I know there's like a trick you can do with, I don't know if it's just Diet Coke or like diet drinks in general, or like regular kind of carbonated drinks, but you can like freeze it and then it doesn't look frozen, and then you like, but like it's just before it gets frozen, and then you just like tap it really hard and then it goes whoosh, and like freezes. I don't entirely know how that works or what it works with, but it's cool. Red slushies. Snack bar. Ooh, frozen Cokes. Nice. They just had frozen Cokes like in the store? That seems weird. I know like Coke slushies, like 7-Eleven have Coke slushies. Definitely a thing I had as a child. Not even as a child, as like a teenager and sometimes as an adult. Oh, they were called frozen Cokes. All right, that makes sense. I don't know if I ever ate in the Sears food court. I know there was one. I know I always like saw it, but I don't think I ever ate in it. Are you trying not to have it, or you just realized you haven't had it in a while? Cool. Yeah, I've quit caffeine before, and Coke with it, but This is the longest I've had between, like, actually just continuously not having, like, any pop at all. Probably since I was like a toddler or something. Like, my whole life I've drank Coke, basically. Yeah, there was a few times where I tried to quit caffeine because I thought it would help my headaches. I've gone like without caffeine, without wheat, without uh, added sugar, without salt, without meat. I've tried all kinds of things over the years. And if we're just talking about headaches, I also tried cutting my hair, having teeth removed. Changing my sleep schedule. Yeah, for sure. Nice, Brad. I saw that. Yeah, but you're not going to throw it away. You know it was like helpful and useful and you learned a lot. And I mean, the only reason you have the idea you have now is because you already did that writing, right? It's definitely daunting, but not something you can't overcome. I have been eating my plum, Tim. I haven't taken a break, though. Look, instead of drawing a hand today, I drew a bird. I didn't even think about it until now. Lego move. I would like to say that I thought about it, but I did not. But yes, I hear Tim. So I think we can have a break, and then we're going to switch over and do some hat game. I will see you all in a couple of minutes.